Good morning from Warramai Country. I'm Claire Murphy. Welcome to the Solo Bureau. First things first today, from the comments section of the podcast apps, I wanted to answer some questions. This one's for Carolyn. She wanted to know if the Saturday special eps are the norm. We dropped one last weekend of Callie Rintoul from the Kindle Club and I talking about our new favourite read after Sarah J. Maas released details of her next two books. Carolyn, I'll let you know they are the norm, but they're not every week. Callie has promised, though, to drop in regularly once we compare our TBR stacks, to be read for the non-readers in the house, and see which books we've both devoured of late, and then we get together and chat about them. So there will be more of those. And from Nick with Love, who said she was sold on The Poisoned Daughter that we spoke about, you will not regret it, I promise. There is another Saturday special, though, coming up this week. I have never done two in a row. This is a first. But there's a bit of an announcement happening, and I'm going to speak to a special guest who's going to be much more involved with this show. In fact, a whole team of people who will be. Not so solo bureau. Don't worry, it's still just me in control of everything at the reins. And to the folks who are still coming through with blood donation bookings and appointments, after we spoke to Kate last week about how it's helping keep her kiddo, Marley, alive, you are the actual best. And I know some of you have been knocked back too. Jen, I know you felt really bad about it. It is okay. The fact that you check to see whether you can still donate blood is absolutely a beautiful, wonderful thing to do. And T for basically recruiting her husband because she knows his O blood type is like liquid gold. Go, you good thing. Okay, on with today's episode. Spring is coming. I know, Game of Thrones fans, that doesn't have the same ring to it. But if we're to believe the headlines doing the rounds about the upcoming spring and summer weather conditions we are expecting, maybe the thought of a white walking night king isn't such a bad thing. We'll get into what we can expect as the country cops are drenching and El Nino approaches. But of course, we must find out what's been happening while you were sleeping. It's Tuesday, August 25. Video has emerged of Richmond players reenacting what was alleged to have happened in the Melbourne hotel room, where a woman has alleged she was sexually assaulted by a Sydney Swans player. 5 Swans players, Isaac Heaney, Chad Warner, Nick Blakey, Riley Bison, James Jordan, have been suspended for the rest of the season for breaching club standards, for drinking and bringing women back to their hotel room, but not in relation to the alleged incident. At this stage, no charges have been laid against any of the 5 players. The video was from the Tigers' Mad Monday celebrations. One player can be seen faking a shocked face after being spanked on the backside by a teammate, while another whips a fellow player on the back with a belt. The video came to light on the same day AFL chief Andrew Dillon delivered a statement saying that respect for women is key.
Well, I think I've made it really clear what the AFL stands for is respect for women is not negotiable. I think it's right that people would be asking questions at the moment, and I think football is a place where everyone should feel safe and included. And we will continue to work with our playing group and all our supporters on making sure that we have an environment that's like that.
Mr. Dillon also explained that the 5 players involved in the hotel incident would not be invited to attend the Brownlow medal ceremony. A batch of allegedly contaminated black market peptides are being blamed for 7 Victorians being hospitalised with acute liver toxicity. The patients have all been taking a counterfeit weight loss peptide called retatrutide. Doctors treating them are concerned there's a contaminated batch circulating, but they've not tested any of the substance to be able to confirm that. It doesn't seem to have occurred anywhere else in Australia at this time. There's been a huge spike in Australian sourcing unapproved peptides through black market operators in recent years after they began to be discussed and promoted on social media platforms. The drugs are often not tested on humans and could have toxic effects. A new report from Everybody's Home shows Aussie workers earning $130,000 a year would still find themselves in housing stress if they're paying just the median rent. The data shows that workers would be paying 33% of their disposable income on the national median rental of $614 a week, higher than the internationally accepted benchmark of 30% of the household budget. The housing advocacy group's latest priced out report shows that a worker on $70,000 a year, which is close to Australia's median income of just over $74,000 would have to spend more than half their income on the median rental in every capital city. In some parts of regional Australia, rental affordability is even worse. Northern WA is the most unaffordable, with a renter on $70,000 a year paying 87% of their income on median rent. The Gold Coast, the Sunshine Coast, the Central Coast, Wollongong and Beenleigh in Queensland also feature in the top 10 most unaffordable rental areas. A man has been arrested for allegedly attempting to fly a drone laden with drugs and other items into Townsville's correctional facility. The drone was found on May 17 containing an amount of methamphetamine, GBL, other prescription drugs, syringes, a glass pipe and a mobile phone. Police managed to trace it back to a 47-year-old man who's been arrested and charged with supplying dangerous drugs, trafficking and other offences. Arsenal fans have gotten behind Matilda's midfielder Kyra Cooney-Cross, who returned to the pitch for the first time in 5 months after the loss of her mum. Cooney-Cross was sent on in the 63rd minute of the game as Arsenal recorded a 1-0 pre-season win over Paris FC, the crowd giving her much love as she headed onto the pitch.
Really big cheer for Kyra Cooney-Cross, back in action for Arsenal.
Cooney-Cross announced on January 8 via Instagram that her mother, Jessica, was diagnosed with terminal stage 4 bile duct cancer. She passed away on July 10. Cooney-Cross stayed in Australia after the Asian Cup to spend time with her mum. She returned to pre-season training on August 17. People is reporting that security taking care of Hayden Panettiere during her May book tour were told to keep her ex-boyfriend Brian Hickerson away from her. Hickerson and his brother were with the actress when she passed away on August 16. He also showed police a bag of drugs that Panettiere was reportedly taking at the time of her death. The late actress had written about her relationship with Hickerson in her memoir, This Is Me, A Reckoning, describing him as physically violent. Her private security had been given clear instructions not to allow a man named Brian Hickerson into any book signing events. Hickerson's lawyer has released a statement regarding her client, saying Panettiere's death remains under investigation and it's important to allow that investigation to proceed. As has been publicly reported, she stated, police confirmed there were no signs of foul play. Out of respect for Hayden's loved ones and the ongoing investigation, there will be no further comment at this time. Those are your top stories today, friends. Next, it's time to talk about the weather. On June 16, the Bureau of Meteorology officially declared an El Nino for the upcoming summer season. An El Nino will mean that the surface of the ocean will heat up in the central and eastern Pacific, while the trade winds which blow from east to west along the equator will weaken. Now that means it's going to get real stormy out there. But those storms will also draw moisture and clouds away from Australia, which, if we take a look at previous El Nino events here, makes for some very hot and very dry conditions. An El Nino can last anywhere from 6 months to 2 years. So what does that mean for Australia as we experience very wet weather right across the continent this week? To help us decode the current low-pressure system and a looming El Nino is Channel 9 weather expert Jessica Braithwaite. Welcome to the Solo Bureau, Jessica.
Hi, thanks for having me, Claire.
Okay, this is your first time on the show, and I would like you to share, because you have told me this in the past, why you love talking about the weather. It has been your specialty for quite some time.
Oh my God, yes, you've got me there, Claire. I'm a grade A weather nerd, I must say. I'm the one who's going to be like at the barbecue on the weekend, just standing there looking up at the clouds, going, "Oh yes, there's a nice little cumulonimbus cloud forming there." I'm such a weather nerd. I can't help myself, but I do love it. Look, the weather is everything, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, from when you walk out the door in the morning, you forget about how much it impacts us every day in our lives. So yeah, I just love everything about it.
All right. Well, let's get into your favourite topic. So currently there's a low pressure system making its way across the country. Can you just tell us a little bit more about what's happening there? Because it feels like this wet weather is like one side of the country to the other.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Basically, if you sort of draw a line across the bottom half of the country, so from Perth, across to Sydney, Canberra, we're all getting it anywhere in that line. So it came in from the west. I'm in Adelaide, so it has been bucketing down here. and then it moves across, goes through Melbourne, Canberra. Like we've got some flash flooding warnings in place actually for the alpine regions through there, Victoria, New South Wales, near Canberra, and then it moves across to Sydney. Sydney's not going to cop the worst of it, like by Sydney standards, it'll just sort of probably feel a bit rainy. But it is one of those systems where everyone gets a bit of a taste of it.
Which is really interesting because I guess by Wednesday it's supposed to spread a little bit into the southernmost parts of Queensland and a bit of northern New South Wales before it then turns south and then leaves. Is that usual?
Sometimes these things like to take a bit of a detour, but this low pressure system, it's kind of, I don't know if you can imagine it, it's like a circle in the middle, and then it's got two arms stretching off either side, and that's why you're going to see one of the arms kind of stretching up towards those states as it kind of spins around and it's drawing in this tropical moisture. So that's why it's kind of spreading out more than you might expect to see when some of these lows move across.
Is that usual too? Because I was just reporting very recently on the fact that there is a rather large bushfire happening in the middle of the Northern Territory right now, which is in the Tanami Desert, not the Tanami Desert, like I said. Thank you for the pickup, Kildy. How often do we have this kind of duopoly of bushfires and flooding rains? I know it sounds like a poem that someone wrote once, but is that normal for us this time of year?
This time of year, not so much, because remembering we're still in winter, but there have been so many times where I have seen now, and obviously everything becomes more intensified as climate change makes our weather, becoming more extreme, where you can be. I'll be present the weather on Channel 9 and I can be up the top. We might have flooding happening up the top and fires down the bottom, or the other way around sometimes. And it just feels like, gosh, we really are the land of extremes, aren't we? We can have, it's a big country. We can have it all going on all at once, and it can be a lot to keep up with sometimes.
Well, let's talk about El Nino, because a couple of months ago, the Weather Bureau officially declared El Nino for the rest of the year, and we don't know how long it will go for, right? It can be 6 months, 2 years, we're not quite sure.
It can hang around. It can outstay its welcome, that's for sure. Best estimates at this point are certainly that it will continue into next year, potentially even through till around autumn. But the forecasters tend to kind of watch and see what it's doing before they make the big call on exactly when they want to kind of, I guess, announce that it's over. But at this stage, we're kind of likely going to be stuck with it for the rest of this year and certainly into next year as well.
So we've had El Niños before, Jessica, and we know that it gets hot and it gets dry, but do we have any idea of how extreme that might be in the next 6 months?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, this one's being billed as not just an El Nino, but a strong El Nino. And beyond that, some punters calling it a super El Nino, which sounds, bloody terrifying, doesn't it? A lot of people get the El Ninos and the La Ninas mixed up. But very loosely speaking, El Nino often means that's the hot and dry one, basically, for the central and eastern parts of the country. And La Nina's the wet one. So, for us here in Australia, our minds go to bushfires, our minds go to droughts, to heat waves. Like these are the kinds of conditions that are often associated with El Nino. So it can be a bit scary. This one, there's one thing to make clear for people, that a strong El Nino doesn't necessarily exactly equate to a strong experience of the El Nino, if that makes sense. Like you can have a really strong El Nino year and not be the worst conditions, if that makes sense. There's other factors at play, other broader climatic and weather patterns that all kind of come together to bring the weather that we have. So it's not, until you're in it, it's hard to know exactly how it's going to play out, but certainly some strong signals already. The forecasts, the long-term outlooks for spring are looking to be delivering above average temperatures. Like the map, when you look at it for the whole country, pretty much is just red, 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 red. Like not even a speck of blue on there, which is I hate it when I look at the map and I just see red, red, red. But that's the temperatures, and the rain, the colouring is sort of it's like a brown colouring, which indicates like the dry. And so there's a lot of red and a lot of brown on the maps coming up for spring. So yeah, it's not the it's not the prettiest picture, but you kind of have to wait till we're in it as well to see how it pans out.
So basically we know that it's probably going to be hot, it's probably going to be dry. We don't know how hot or how dry that's going to be. We just literally have to get into the middle of it and then make some predictions, right?
Yeah, and even then, you never know how exactly it's going to turn out because the El Nino has already started. Like, we're in it now, and as you can see, it's bucketing down across half the country. So it does. Sometimes it's not like a direct correlation because there are other factors at play. There's other nerdy weather terms like the Indian Ocean dipole and things like that also play into the weather that we get. So sometimes people say, you said it was going to be hot and dry. You said it was going to be El Nino. Why is it raining? And it's sometimes not quite that simple. It doesn't mean that it's not going to rain at all. We can still have rain events. And as much as I wish, as a weather forecaster, as much as I wish that I had a lovely crystal ball, sometimes you do just have to kind of wait until we're in it and see what it does.
Well, I can't wait to have these conversations with my mum, who is also in Adelaide and who's been telling me about how much rain there has been and how her garden's full of weeds because it's just been encouraging all the growth.
I love the sound of the rain on the roof, I have to tell you. Like, we're doing some filming at a Book Week library at the moment and the rain's coming down and it's beautiful, but I can relate to the weeds situation at home as well.
Well, Jessica, thank you for giving us some insight. Maybe we'll check back in with you in a few months' time to see how we're travelling. Thank you.
See how my predictions worked out.
We're going to hold you to every single one.
That's right. So just blame it on another weather person.
Yeah. Everyone start writing Jessica letters. She loves it. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Thanks, Jessica.
No worries, Claire. Stay dry.
Jessica loves the weather so much. She's written a children's book about it. It's called Whatever the Weather, We're in This Together. It is so beautiful. I gave a copy to my former co-host and one of the true loves of my life, Dr. Mariam, for her little baby girl who is so divine. You just want to eat her cute little chubby legs in a cuteness aggression way, not a cannibalistic kind of way. If you find it, get it for your little ones. It is absolutely gorgeous. Thanks for taking some time out to hang with the Solo Bureau today, friends. Remember, if you have a tick, rate and review the show in your favourite podcast app. I feel like your exceptionally positive reviews has also meant the trolls haven't managed to get a hold of the comment sections yet. It's actually such a delight to scroll through and have a read. It is so damn wholesome. I can't thank you enough for the kindness and the positivity you're all bringing to this show. Okay, get on out there, slay your Tuesday, whatever that entails, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.